I have a long association with what we now call them superintendents, with greenskeepers. I grew up in the greenskeeper's shed at Bangor Golf Club. Yes.
Former pro golfer turned broadcaster David Feherty was the featured entertainer at this year's closing celebration.
And you know, Johnny Mooney was the greenkeeper at Bangor Golf Club, and I spent half my time in the pro shop inhaling solvents, and the other half hanging out with the three guys who worked on the golf course. And there was a gang mower, and there was a primitive hollow tine roller that three of them had to push around the greens by hand, which just it compressed the dog that was the greens into more dog, you know, with the golf course. I mean, you can't grow grass in Northern Ireland, but then you really can't grow grass here either unless you know what you're doing. And I think the general public, the golf watching public certainly has got to the stage where they expect things to be good, and you know, but they don't really know the reason why. I look at as part of my job, whenever I get the opportunity, to explain that golf course superintendents and their staff are actually highly trained professionals, just like a heart surgeon or somebody that you would trust your life to. But unfortunately, you know, they have to report to the Greens Committee from time to time. And I know that you have to, you know, take the opinion of someone, you know, who might be a proctologist, who's got a really good idea, you know, that would help the golf course, you know, that you could get it into better shape. Meanwhile, you know, you've been to one of our fine institutes of higher learning and obtained a bachelor's degree in horticulture or, you know, turf management or something like that. And unfortunately, you're not allowed to say to them, no, I have a better idea. F*** off.
His cheeky humor has made him one of golf's most popular off-the-course figures.
You know, I look after the yard. Well, I actually looked after my yard for a little while, and I decided it would be a good idea to plant zoysia. And I went to Brandon Goodick, who is a superintendent. Is Brandon here? Where are you, you lazy? And I said, you know, I love zoysia. I want to put it in the front yard. Because I loathe St. Augustine. Not the town. Well, I don't even like the town very much, to be honest with you, but I loathe the grass. It's a weed, it's ghastly, and everybody has it on their lawn. It's just horrible. I hate it. So I thought, well, we'll put zoysia on. So he came and helped it. We turfed it and you know, got the whole thing. And I bought a reel mower that was one of the lease mowers at Vaquero, and you know, I said, it's how much? Seriously? You know, I didn't want to buy the entire, you know, superintendent shed here. You know, just the mower? Yeah. Okay, I mean, if you told the average member that a reel mower is going to cost you 17.5 grand, you know, they'd laugh in your face. Morons. So, speaking of morons, I get the lawn into perfect shape, whatever, and it's ready for its first cut, but I don't have a Mexican. What? So I call Lee Trevino. Lee Trevino lives around the corner from me, and he was my hero from when I was that high. I have two memories from when I was under 10 years of age. One was the 1963, John F. Kennedy was assassinated. I remember that day. I remember my mother crying. And I remember Lee Trevino winning the 1968 US Open, and I thought, I want to be just like him. He was on my first show. He was the most important. I think he's an incredibly important person in American society. He came from absolutely nothing, you know, from a dirt floor, didn't know who his father was, but he was willing to do the things that unsuccessful people don't want the responsibility for. And he is the American dream for me. He and so many like him. He's so important, you know, to the Latino population in this country, who are the hardest workers in the world. In the world.
John Deere sponsored the closing celebration, and the GCSAA members had a great time.
I was building a house 8.5 years ago, and coincidentally I was getting sober. 8.5 years ago. Not a good combination, I'll tell you. Not something I would do deliberately again. My builder, who was a thief, had this bunch of so-called, contractors, and doing stonework and this kind of thing in the house. And at one stage, I actually drew a 45 on him, because in Texas, we have what they call the castle doctrine. If you think there's someone in your home that is trying to do you actual bodily harm, you're allowed to shoot the And I was explaining this to him, and also explaining that the floor that I was standing on was not level. And he had assured me, no, we've got the best framers in the business here. This floor is level. And I had said to him, look, I'm not a builder, but trust me, what I do for a living, I know when I'm standing on a slope. I also said, if you don't get these people out of my house by tomorrow and fill this house with Mexicans, I will shoot you. And that's the day that the project turned around. I got a couple of cases of beer. I put them in the refrigerator. I said, boys, go to work, whatever. They worked harder than I could ever imagine, and they did a superb job. Absolutely unbelievable, and I have great respect. That occurred to me. So I plant the zoysia, and Lee comes around and he shows me, and he's going to sharpen my mower for me, because as you know, the zoysia will chew up the blades, and you'll have to get it sharpened, and you need a special machine which costs a fortune, all the rest. So he cuts it for me the first time. The first guy to cut my lawn is Lee Trevino. It's so cool, It's so cool having it. And he does my first show for me around the same time. So a little later on in the season, I think it's about 2 or 3 weeks, and we've let it grow a little bit. I think, well, I'll take a shot at it. So I crank up the mower, and I'm walking up and down, giving it, this isn't so difficult, and there's a yard crew across the other side of the street, whatever, and I can see one of them, he's laughing up, he's going, like that, and I'm thinking, why isn't the box filling up? Oh, I must have to set it lower. So I get in there and I'm like fiddling with both, nuts and all the rest, and I set it lower and give it the Gee, the box isn't filling up. That's ridiculous. So I've got to call Trevino. He says, have you taken the wheels off? No, I haven't. So I took the wheels off and it went down onto the cylinder, and I scalped the bastard because I dropped it. Just not as simple as it. But the best part of this whole thing is when it got to the fall and we got a little colder here in Texas, I thought, I've got a good idea. This is nice green grass at the minute, but it's going to go dormant. I'll overseed with rye. It died. Yeah, it died. And it has never come back. I had to put Bermuda in, which I hate, not as much as the St. Augustine, but apparently you can't overseed with zoysia. So I'm going to go with, we're going to rip it up, and I need some help on this, because I know that you guys go to universities and you learn all this crap. There are new varietals now of zoysia. Is it diamond? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Well, I want to put diamond in, but I can't find it anywhere. So if there's anyone here there's got to be someone here that helps me out. God, there's millions of you. Look, yeah, just put that away in the corner of your mind. Now, I work with a lot of experts as well on reading greens. Now, when I was playing, I used to make mistakes all the time. I would read putts wrong, and now we've got guys like McCord, who's an evil. McCord will sit in his tower at the 16th, and I'm an outside pet. I'm walking with the leaders or with one of the last groups or whatever, and he'll wait for me to get into view. Okay, and I can see him up there in his tower. He's hyperactive for a man of 92, and he's got the same 11 looking Tommy Bahama outfits that he wears all the time. He's got a half a cigar in there that he never lights, and he's got his headset on, on a long leash, and he's walking backwards and forwards in the tower like this. He looks like a 16 handicap Guatemalan banana farmer. And then he spies me. I'll be blundering up the 16th hole, whatever. And if you ever hear McCord say, well, we've got our greens expert, fairway Feherty down there, and I know that you've had a good look at this one, you will know that I am nowhere near the green. All right? I am watching, I mean, I've been caught watching Tiger Woods' wife. You know, when Tiger Woods is putting, you know, and he sees me, and I'm gazing at Aileen Woods at this point. I'll never forget this. And I'm thinking, wow, that woman would make a bishop kick a hole in a stained glass window. And Tiger is up there, you know, on the green. He's got some kind of a putt. And McCord has thrown me under the bus completely. He said, well, which way do you think it breaks? At this stage in my career, I don't care. I don't care at all. So that's got to be about right lip. And I go back to staring at Aileen Woods, and she's tried to ugly herself up. You know, she's wearing she's got her ponytail pulled through the back of her ball cap, big sunglasses on. It's kind of a big sweatshirt, you know, and shorts, and you know, she's sort of incognito, but she can't fool me. I'm looking at the way the sun is glowing, you know, the nape of her neck and her ponytail spilling over the back, and I'm thinking, my God, she is absolutely beautiful. And when she turns around, she catches me, but not like a normal woman would catch a normal pervert, like this, whatever. She just turns around slowly, like this, and draws me in with her tractor beams, you know? I'm like, oh, whatever. And she looks at me up and down, like this, and she says, David, am I wearing something of yours? I'm thinking, no, but I wish you were. But everyone, you know, has an opinion on which way it should break and where it should go to, and it's all crap. It's all crap. Everything breaks downhill all of the time, unless you get into one of those little flat spots where the grain changes. You know, you might get a little upshift, you know, that sort of way. And I don't know about anybody else, but I love the fact that we have different surfaces. This is not the game it used to be. You know, when we go to Hilton Head after the Masters, you've got slower, grainier greens, you know, that you've got to actually work at reading them. At the Masters, you yourself and play on. In a lot of ways, that's easier. You know, I think I'll hit it over there. They used to ask us, well, in fact, we still do at the Masters. I'll go down to, I've had the 15th hole for 18 years. And there are little subtle changes every now and then, but they ask the announcers to go down before play and putt the green, you know, each round, you know, to make sure that you know which way it breaks. Well, the very first time I did it, and nobody tells stimp meter readings, you know, they're tournament speed. Tournament speed, yeah, really, I can actually shave in it in the morning, you know, and they actually repel water. I've taken a bottle of water and poured it on top, and it beads up and just gently slides away, you know, down whatever slope there is. I have no idea. You guys know how it's done. It's some sort of friggin' voodoo. That's what it is. The maintenance facility there, those of you that have been, it's absolutely incredible. There's like thousands of little matchbox-sized beds with individual blades of grass with the little thermometers in them, like this. You know, we can nurse them back to health, no problem. An amazing place. But the first time that I went down, I got on the edge of the 50, and I've got, you know, people think, what is that guy doing with the CBS? Of the blazer on and street shoes with a putter, you know? So I put the 3 balls down on the right edge of the green, the flag's on the front left, and I hit the first one. And I'm watching it go down, I'm thinking, oh my God, that's quick. And it went down, it just caught the slope a little bit like out there, and it just cruised past the hole and got to the edge of the green and trickled down and went into the water. And the crowd went, well, there were a lot of them. It sounded a little like that, actually. And I thought, ooh, well, better be careful with that. Then it was a little embarrassing, you know. So I hit the second one, and it's going a little slower and all the rest. And I think, well, that's going to go in. But no, it hits the right edge of the hole and gets the speed lip out like that, and it goes in the water. Now I've only got 1 ball left. I'm thinking, I'm putting that one uphill. Like that. Take it back down. It's, I've seen golf courses, I've seen them change over the years to the extent that it's absolutely mind-numbing to me that you can do what you do. There is voodoo involved. And the average person watching golf has no conception of the science that goes into this. We've just been on the West Coast swing at Torrey Pines and in Phoenix and at Pebble Beach. And Torrey Pines and Pebble Beach are both public golf courses. Pebble Beach, I think, gets 60,000 rounds a year. Torrey Pines is something similar. It's absolutely unbelievable. And both golf courses were perfect. And this is Poa annua. This is a grass that actually turns into cauliflower if you don't cut it within the next 12 hours. How the hell do you do that? And not only were they, I mean, they were so fast and firm, and I don't know, you'd sprayed some kind of retardant or something on it, you know, some anti-vegetable spray that stops it from going into a turbine. Because nobody missed putts like this, you know, and I remember having a putt like that on Poa Annua, and I'm thinking, I hope I can get it down in 3. You know, and that's how difficult it was. So the job that you do, I mean, you just get better and better and better at doing it. And honestly, I don't know where it ends. You know, how much better golf courses can get.